All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is Activists Demand Funding for Existing Chicago Residents as the City Focuses on the Migrant Crisis. Let's go check it out. Let's see where this takes us, guys.
These South and West Side homeowners are angry.
Protect black housing in Chicago.
They believe the city has overextended itself.
Wait.
Protect black housing in Chicago.
They believe
redesign, guys. Here, the city of Chicago illegally demolished our family building without compensation. Eminent domain is what this guy is pointing out here. All right, let's go.
The city has overextended itself and should be putting the tens of millions of dollars earmarked for migrants into Chicago's most vulnerable neighborhoods.
They should
be. But the South Side has been under-resourced, underfunded for years, for decades. We have schools that need to be reopened.
Absolutely.
We have buildings that are abandoned that need to be business operated.
The group says the city has abandoned.
Guys, really quickly, I just had to hear what she said here just to kind of grasp it. I've been kind of pointing this out now for a little while now. The reason why a lot of people from Chicago are absolutely upset is because the South Side of Chicago exists. All right, it in fact is there, right? They suffer from blight. They suffer from absolute crazy criminality, all right? They're suffering. It's a dangerous area, bro, right? They're basically a desert by almost every single definition of what a desert actually is, other than the sand, all right? There is no real quality food. Education is not amazing, right? There are people there. There are some homeowners in this area also, guys. They're paying taxes. And it would be great if their tax money that they were paying went to kind of revitalize the actual community by fixing schools, bringing businesses to the area. But obviously, businesses are not going to come to an area that's full of nothing but criminality. That's basically what's happening in New York right now also, right? Where a lot of these businesses are closing due to people walking in and just basically pilfering from these locations. You cannot expect a company to stay in an area that people are walking in and taking from. They're going to leave. So you, number one, have to fix the criminality. Fix the criminality, all right? And I would absolutely over-police this area if I was in charge. So maybe don't put me in charge, all right? I would over-police this area completely. All the tax dollars that are coming from the South Side of Chicago would go to basically funding basically an army. I'm sorry, guys. All right, none of that. No more of the what we hear in drill music coming out of Chicago. No more of that nonsense. Over police the area. Get the criminal element out of it. Then businesses will come back into your area. That's just the reality of things here. And yeah, they're suffering from blight. I personally, again, would tear these buildings down. The overwhelming majority of them, because all they're doing is allowing illicit businesses to basically operate inside of these rundown bandos, let's call them, guys, right? Abandoned buildings. So the only way to fix these things is to definitely revitalize the community as much as you possibly can, put more police there, get the criminal element out of it, and businesses will come rushing back to the area, right? But instead, the money is not being used for anything that the actual homeowners and taxpayers are actually paying for. All that money is going towards the migrant crisis. The fact that someone's building was demolished without compensation by eminent domain, hopefully that building was not used, hopefully that area was now not used for a shelter, because that would actually be another kind of like kick in the face, guys, right?
That need to be business operated.
The group says the city has abandoned its Invest Southwest initiative, a Lightfoot-era program that was dedicated to reversing decades of disinvestment on Chicago's South and West Sides, promising to align more than $2.2 billion through public and private funding.
We are taxpayers, we're property owners. Our money should go towards fixing our communities.
The city has received more than 15,000 migrants since August 2022.
We have no more room. Y'all are embarrassing Chicago as a whole.
According to analysis by the ABC7 data team, there are more than 20 active migrant shelters across the city, 7 located on the South and West Sides.
Whether it's one shelter or whether it's 10 shelters, we're saying the facilities that are there for us The money needs to be put into those facilities for us.
In a statement from the mayor's office about the group's concerns and the status of Invest Southwest, a spokesperson says in part, quote, "We are committed to continued investment for all residents, but especially communities on the South and West sides that have long experienced disinvestment. We are the city of Chicago, and our shoulders are big enough to support both new arrivals and those who have long called this city home."
Mayor Johnson,
Okay.
the black aldermen, the black alderwomen in this city, you will stand for the black citizens of Chicago.
Now, the city says Mayor Johnson knows firsthand the impact of neglect on a vulnerable community.
Isn't he
and that
from
he
there?
will never stop investing in people, all people, and delivering the affordable housing, fully funded schools, safer streets, and living wages that every person deserves in this city. So obviously you're hearing the mayor is saying that the city has big enough shoulders to handle both the south and west sides, all of the neighborhoods, as well as the new arrivals. But of course, the people you heard from, they believe otherwise, and they're hoping that more attention be focused on the south and west sides.
One of many layers to the migrant crisis, certainly.
Watch.
Bro, it's not many layers. Listen, Mayor Johnson, absolutely, I'm sure he's trying to do his absolute best in the situation that he's currently in, by not allowing anything to affect his, let's say, standing in government, let's say. But he's doing nothing for the citizens. Absolutely. Listen, there are a couple of absolutely terrible mayors that exist in America, guys. Absolutely, and he's probably one of them, based off of what we kind of regularly see. Bro, you can't come from an area and then get elected by the people from that area and then say, you know what? Well, I guess I think that's what his party normally does anyway, right? I mean, he says anything possible to get people's votes, and then as soon as he actually gets into office, he does nothing to actually support the people that actually voted for him. That's what it sounds like, guys. That's what it always has sounded like, doesn't it? But either way, listen. The main thing here is that they are absolutely right. There's an issue with disinvestment from this area. But the issue with disinvestment is it comes from the criminal element, right? I mean, if it wasn't so plagued with criminality, then businesses would still exist in the area, right? I'm not sure it's too much of a skin tone issue, guys, because look at Atlanta, right? Like, look at it. Go to Atlanta. All right. I mean, you'll instantly be like, oh, that's not the issue. It's something else. It's a criminal element, guys. It is. In fact, no one wants to run a business around people that are just going to walk in and take things consistently. Right? You have to fix the community before businesses come in. But let's disregard the business aspect for a moment here. Let's talk about schools. Schools, in fact, should be paid by the government here, right? And if you're paying taxes, that tax money needs to go to your schools, right? Things that have the ability to kind of pull people out of the mental state that causes nothing more than criminality, all right? And Chirac, all right? Let's just be honest here, guys. But all right, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. Guys, before we go, are you guys subscribed to the other channels? Logical Movie Reviews with Mr. L. Boyd, along with Mr. L. Boyd Music. Both are found in the description. Check it out.